Welcome to online lecture series in organic chemistry, and we are discussing the molecular orbital theory for coordination compounds. In earlier video we have seen the formation of different coordination compounds on the basis of molecular orbital theory. In this video we are going to discuss the complexes involving pi bonding. Actually, for the formation of pi bond, metal ion or central metal ion contributes T2G orbital. Out of various orbitals available at metal ion, only T2G orbital it is suitable for the formation of pi bond. Whereas ligand also contribute certain orbitals towards the formation of pi bond. For example, T1U, T2G, T1G, T2U. Out of these various orbitals, again various orbitals available at ligand, T2G set of ligand orbital are suitable to overlap with T2G orbital of metal. This is again important thing. Now there are three types of ligand orbitals that can take part in pi bonding. The first is ligands with filled p-pi orbitals. For example, fluoride, chloride, bromide. These ligands have filled p-pi orbitals. For example, you can see this is the T2G orbital of metal. For example, dxy, dyz or dzx. These are the T2G orbitals of metal. In T2G orbital, opposite lobes have same sign wave function, negative, negative, positive, positive. And this is the p-pi orbital of ligand. P-pi orbital of ligand, and this p-pi orbital of ligand, it can laterally overlap with the dxy orbital or T2G orbital of metal, and which results in the formation of pi bond. Now second important type of ligand is ligands with empty d pi orbitals. For example, phosphine, arsine. These ligands have empty d pi orbitals. Interaction will be represented like this. This is the T2G orbital of metal. Opposite lobes have same sign wave function, and ligand also contain d pi orbital, preferably T2G. And here again you can see opposite lobes have same sign wave function, negative, negative, and positive, positive. It can overlap laterally, and there is a possibility of pi bond. This is another type of ligand. Example is phosphine, arsine, etc. And third group of ligand is ligands with empty pi molecular orbitals. Examples are cyanide, carbonyl, etc. Now here again T2G orbital of metal, it can overlap with pi molecular orbital of ligand, for example carbonyl ligand, and there is a possibility of lateral overlapping. Negative, negative lobes can overlap, positive, positive lobes can overlap, and there is a possibility of pi bonding. So in this way there are three types of ligands, and these ligands can, or they are able to form the pi bonds. Now what is the effect of pi bonding on delta O? So value of delta O, whether it is small or larger, smaller or larger, it depends upon the pi bonding. Okay, so accordingly, actually there are two types of interaction: ligand to metal pi interaction and metal to ligand pi interaction. Before that, in octahedral complex, metal T2G orbitals take part in pi bonding, and its energy will be lowered or raised. Accordingly, delta O changes, and the effect of pi bonding on delta O depends upon two important things. First, energy level of ligand to T2G orbitals with respect to metal T2G orbitals, and secondly, whether ligand pi orbitals, that is T2G orbitals, are filled or empty. So these two things are responsible to have a less delta O or greater delta O. Now again, depending upon whether pi ligand orbitals are empty or filled, there are two types of interactions. ligand to metal pi interaction and metal to ligand pi interaction. In ligand to metal pi interaction, there is involvement of filled ligand orbitals with low energy. Similarly, in metal to ligand pi interaction, there is involvement of empty ligand orbitals with high energy. Now, first of all, we are going to discuss the ligand to metal pi interaction, where ligands have filled orbitals with low energy. An example of such a type of complex is hexafluoroferrate 3 ion FeF6 3 minus. Now here in this complex, that is hexafluoroferrate 3 ion, the fluoride ligand have filled pi orbitals. Since fluorine is more electronegative than ferric ion Fe3 plus ion, T2G orbitals of fluoride lie at the lower energy level as compared to the energy of T2G orbitals of metal ion. Now here the electrons from filled T2G orbitals of ligand are moved to T2G bonding orbitals, hence resulting bond is called ligand to metal pi bond, and in this type of interaction delta O decreases. We try to understand this concept considering the molecular orbital diagram. Here energy increases from bottom to top again. To the left side, metal orbitals, especially metal molecular orbitals, already we discussed. In metal there is a T2G orbital and there is a Eg star orbital. So after combination of metal orbitals with ligand group orbitals, these orbitals are formed at the time of formation of sigma bond, and the energy gap between T2G and Eg star, it is delta O. So this much energy gap, it is possible when there is a when there is no any pi interaction. When complex contain purely sigma bond, then this much energy gap will be there. But as I said, when certain ligands are present like fluoride, chloride, bromide, phosphine, arsine, cyanide or carbonyl, then there is a possibility of pi interaction, and because of pi interaction this energy gap changes, decreases or increases. Now here, this is the, actually in this complex fluoride is the ligand, and fluoride contain T2G orbitals with filled with electrons. So these are the T2G orbitals or filled orbitals, filled ligand orbitals with low energy. Why low energy? Because fluorine is more electronegative than iron, and therefore it has lower energy. Now here the in phase combination between T2G orbitals of metal ion with T2G orbitals of ligand results in the formation of this T2G pi orbital, and out of phase combination between T2G orbitals of metal ion with T2G orbitals of ligand results in the formation of anti-bonding T2G star orbitals. These are the T2G star orbitals, that is anti-bonding orbitals, and these are the bonding orbitals. Okay, whereas Eg star orbitals are not involved in the combination process with T2G because these are oriented along the axis, T2G orbitals are oriented in between axis. So here Eg star orbitals remain as it is, there is no any change. Now here, as the ligand group orbitals are filled, there is a transfer of electrons from T2G to Eg, but here before that you can see the energy gap, now it's decreased. The gap between T2G star and Eg star, it is less, energy gap is less. So when there is a ligand to metal pi interaction, then the energy gap decreases. Why ligand to metal pi interaction? Then reason is there is a transfer or movement of these electrons from T2G orbitals of ligand to molecular orbitals like this. These electrons, these can move from ligand orbitals to the bonding molecular orbitals, lower bonding molecular orbitals, and therefore it is called as ligand to metal pi interaction, which results in decrease in delta O. Now another type of interaction, that is metal to ligand pi interaction, where ligand with empty pi orbitals are involved, preferably vacant orbitals. Ligands have vacant orbitals with high energy. Now such a type of interaction is observed in ligands like phosphine and uracil. When complexes containing phosphine or uracil ligand, these ligands have empty pi orbitals. Here the T2G orbitals of ligand which are empty are at higher energy level compared to the metal T2G orbital, and in this kind of pi interaction, metal d electrons occupy T2G bonding molecular orbitals, hence it is called as metal to ligand pi interaction. In this type of interaction, delta O increases. We try to understand with the help of MO diagram. Here the metal orbitals T2G and Eg star, and this is the energy gap delta O in the absence of pi interaction. Now here these are the T2G orbitals of ligand, preferably phosphine, uracil, and here you can as ligand orbitals are empty, and the energy of T2G orbitals of phosphine and uracil, it is higher than the energy of T2G orbitals of metal. So in phase combination between T2G orbitals of metal with ligand results in the formation of bonding T2G pi molecular orbital, and out of phase combination gives T2G star pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now as the ligand orbitals are empty, in movement of electron is not possible from ligand to metal or molecular orbital, or these T2G orbitals, molecular orbitals, are close to the metal. Before that, the energy gap, these Eg star orbitals, these are not involved in interaction process, these remain as it is. The energy gap between Eg star and T2G, or T2G and Eg star, this is the delta O. Now here you can see in this type of complex the energy gap increases, delta O increases, and here the electrons from metal T2G orbital move towards the bonding molecular orbitals, and therefore this type of interaction, it is called as metal to ligand pi interaction. Whenever there is a metal to ligand pi interaction, there is an increase in delta O. So this is about the effect of pi bonding on delta O, and at the end, what are the merits of molecular orbital theory? The formation of ionic and covalent bond, it is thoroughly explained on the basis of molecular orbital theory. Actually, molecular orbital theory is far better than the two earlier theories, that is valence bond theory and crystal field theory. Molecular orbital theory explains the magnetic properties of the complexes, like when unpaired electrons are present in bonding or anti-bonding or non-bonding orbitals, then the compound becomes paramagnetic, otherwise it is diamagnetic. So magnetic properties are well explained on the basis of molecular orbital theory, and on the basis of pi interaction, molecular orbital theory explains the relative strength of ligands and extent of delta O more accurately. Why delta O increases or decreases, it is also explained on the basis of molecular orbital theory. So these are the some important merits of molecular orbital theory, and here we completed the first chapter, that is the molecular orbital theory for coordination compounds.